Hello, friends. I'm wearing the hoodie today because of mosquitoes. And I wanted to be outside and I wanted to give you this view. And if I tip to the side, yeah, you can see the water and the hills. You can't see the mountains because it's a hazy, maybe a hazy day. My wife says she's been smelling smoke and there may be fires. There's oftentimes fires July, August in the Pacific Northwest, British Columbia, um, you know, Washington, Montana, Oregon, California. Seems like there's always fires in California. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set up another healing field because it's the first of 10 days of galactic activation portals. So I might be doing healing fields every day. If I have an intuition that that's the right thing to do, I'll do it. But right now, you can state these words out loud if you choose. I connect to my deep self. And if you feel energy begin running up and down your spine, that sometimes happens when you connect to your deep self. It kind of opens up the stream. Connect to my higher self. Connect to my highest self. The highest self oftentimes makes me yawn. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the one. I choose to let go of anything not useful to me now. And I choose to work with the Hathors. Ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good, release and integrate at this time. I invite all souls to return to the event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. Powerful day today. I ask that we all be placed in a field, um, surrounded by a field of protection while we do this work. Upon arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. Okay, we got 3 cards today, and the first card was the Seven of Cups. And so, in all, these are the words. In all of these, in all of this, rich expansion. New possibilities stretch out before us. We dream of potential futures. Let our imaginations run wild. Find ourselves in fantasy of wonder and magic. As beautiful as it can be to wander through new worlds, illusions can be deceiving. It's essential that we find a way to balance idealism with realism to recognize what is possible and what is a pipe dream. And I like the words, anything is possible. This sifting through ideas, this examining of options, is the romantic reverie of the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I'm going to also just look in the other book because the Seven of Cups had a different feeling when I read it earlier, and I think I read it out of this book. Um, so, what this is warning against is the overindulgence in states of emotional depression and moods. So, really getting in the last video I just did, when I suggested that on a soul level we go back to the event that would be in the highest good to release and integrate at this time, but not follow it with kind of astral travel where we take our consciousness to the event. Because then when you get close to the event, you go, oh my God, that happened, you know? And all of a sudden you're in the emotions of it, and it's best to have your soul just be back there clearing it. And as your soul's clearing, it's connected. We're not disconnecting with our soul while it goes back and clear it. So we feel the clearing taking place, but it's not as impactful as being in the rock concert venue with the volume turned to 11. That's what going back to the event is like. So this is about really being careful with our emotional addictions or indulgences. Whenever we are depressed, it reflects what it is that we will reach for to make ourselves feel better. Whether it's overeating, which has been my pattern, and I'm clearing that, but that would be my pattern when I gave up all the other mind-altering things as a means of regulating my nerve system. When I stopped doing that, what I had left was food and my addiction to food, and so my tendency to overindulge in food to suppress my emotions. But it could be over shopping, it could be over drinking, it could be smoking, drug usage, or sexual promiscuity. It's just trying to get something to bring us out of these darker feelings. And the best way to come out of the dark feelings is to let them come fully into your heart and let the love in your heart help you to release and integrate these energies of the past that just need to be resolved and finished, digested and completed. Seven of Cups is a tendency to feel sorry for oneself or indulging in being a martyr or a victim. Oh, they're doing this to me. Not that I'm taking ownership of my life and how it is and what I can do to work with it in ways that kind of elevate everyone around me while I do my own healing. Okay. The Seven of Cups represents a destructive way of coping with depression or issues that one does not want to face by indulging in patterns that involve excessive behavior. So it's just advising you to let go of that. And then the next card is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is the Strength card. So the Nine of Wands is spiritual and intuitive. So this opening of the third eye is an opening to the higher consciousness and relationship with the higher consciousness. And that is a spiritual intuition and also a spiritual attunement to these higher forces. This is what we're working with right now. And astrologically, this card is Sun and Moon in Sagittarius, which symbolizes conscious and subconscious strength. So tap into that strength. Nine of Wands indicates strength of vision, perception, and intuition. It reflects strength on every level of consciousness, which is represented by the four intercepting arrows: mental strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength, and physical strength. This is a symbol of the unlimited strength that comes from deep within. I connect to my deep self. And you feel that peace of the deep self, but you also feel that strength of the deep self. And as you begin to align your life with what is possible, you begin to find that inner strength just growing within you and helping you to feel courage to release these events of the past that are holding you back. They do. They just, you hold yourself back by holding on to these events. You release and integrate these events. You bring all of those resources forward into the present. And healing can only take place in the present, like right now. It's taking place right now. This is healing. You were thinking like, no, healing would be blah, 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 blah. Well, this is healing. So healing isn't blah, 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 blah. Healing is being present but with what is now. Sound like a preacher. We're working with this, tapping into this strength within and strength without. So it's strong outside as well. But we're tapping into this inner strength. And what we're going to be working with by tapping into this inner strength is the Five of Swords. And, you know, cards don't always have to be, oh, I got another major arcana card. It was the Love card. It was the Magician. Everything is perfect. It was the Star card. You are a star in the universe. And sometimes you get the Five of Swords, which the key word is fear of defeat. And I don't mean the hands, and I don't mean defeat. I mean defeat. Like the baddies are going to win this war that's going on the planet to keep people slaves. That's just one kind of weird thought form that you might want to just disconnect from, because you're only a slave if you perceive you are. And if you perceive that you are free and unencumbered spirit of divine light, then just see what happens when you act out that role. Fear has one function, and functure. It's a new word, functure. Fear has one functure. It is to constrict, to lock in, hold on to that energy of resentment and that energy of like, you'll never do that to me again. It's just like, maybe time to let that go. All the twisted lines in the background are showing the function of fear, which is to constrict, to distort, to bend one's perspective or way of thinking. Safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective. Studies have shown. Ask your doctor if this would be good for you to take more drugs. This is a fear that history might repeat itself and a fear that one will be hurt again. The astrological aspect of this card is Venus at the top of the card in Aquarius, wavy lines at the bottom of the card. So Venus in Aquarius, there are two fears held in the mind. One is fear that a new relationship may not work out, or two, having fear of moving in new directions that are emotionally important to you. The new directions are symbolized by Aquarius at the bottom of the card. And those directions being emotionally important to you is symbolized by Venus at the top of the card. Venus in Aquarius symbolizes the emotional fears of what you might not attain in terms of love in the world being your experience. That's enough of the tarot cards. We we may have been spending too much time in old emotions, but it's fine to spend as much time as you can in old emotions if you're releasing them and integrating the past and bringing that past forward into now and gaining all the resources that were stuck in the past. Also, tapping into our strength, our mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual strength, and releasing the fear that it's not going to work out. And that's a pretty good 15-minute video. Shouldn't take too long to upload. And be well, and know that you are the one that can change the world every moment of being present to what is. Blessings and salivations or salutations or saturation.